Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Fail PG. Tonight, you have myself, the mighty mage, lording over the terrible minions, Surge, with his character Ronnie the Barbarian, and tonight, Goat, playing an as yet undiscovered character. We begin in the city of Lagash, where Ronnie and her old Uncle Arak, the blacksmith, are about to have a contest to see whose axe is greater, straight or crooked blade. With that, Surge, we open to you.
So, and this is just me trying to recall everything that we did from last session. If I remember correctly, just got finished punching Striker. We went inside. I grabbed both axes off the table. So I believe we are actually already on our way into the forest with both axes.
Yes, that is correct.
Still feeling a bit wound up inside after our previous encounter with Deus, Riku, and Nolan Striker. Like, at this point, she's calmed down from the Striker part. She knows that Striker lives to get punched in the face at this point. Right? Like, that's basically his whole character archetype. I'm the guy who you want to punch in the face. I don't know how Noel stands him. But I think she's more riled up about Deus. The way he approached the situation. The way he was willing to just meaninglessly tell someone to kill an innocent over just what is essentially nothing. And of course, she wasn't quite able to get a whole read on Noel in that situation. But she felt like maybe, for them being who they are, he could have intervened, did more, to make the situation right in her eyes. But instead, he just kind of stood there. So, in her mind, there's not one good person amongst them right now. And she's already regretting making this trip up north.
Well, on the bright side, she did get to run into her old Uncle Arak.
Which has been the only bright spot in this entire trip. Well, that and the fact that she got to plow through like 20 guys in a fight. So that always is a cheery thing for her. Whenever she can remember a good fight, that's enough of a bright spot for
her. Well, as you're walking into the forest to find a suitable tree to test your axes on, Uncle Arak, his short, squat, kind of square, rotund self stumping along beside you. He is kind of looking at you with a sideways glance, kind of knowingly, as you're brooding over this stuff. And as you're going along, he kind of puts a heavy hand on your shoulder briefly and says, "Oh, they aren't all that bad. There's good ones and bad ones, just like anywhere you go. Good thing about it is we got their stuff back. The little girl's gonna get a paddling like she deserves, and I get to swing axes with my favorite niece."
Well, I suppose there do be a bright side. At least there's family to hang out with while I'm here. Although, I'm gonna have to make some money quick if I want to get moving again.
I suspect you won't have trouble. You are always a bright one and good with the axe. You do just fine up there.
I wouldn't be able to swing an axe if it wasn't for you and Hansen, though, now would
I? That's right, and don't let anyone tell you different. You're stumping along, and you see this really large, enormous tree looming up ahead. It's got to be 10 feet wide, just unbelievably big.
By the way,
I
I know we'll probably never need it, but in case for some reason you ever say you need a coin flip, I have the perfect one right here.
All right. Well, you know what? That does come up from time to time.
Ah, glad I mentioned it then. Uh, so 10 feet tall, you say?
No, 10 feet wide.
Oh, 10 feet wide. Ooh.
Yeah, that sucker might be 50, 60 feet tall. It's a big one.
Mm, I want to slowly approach it. Just walk up and just gently press my hand against right there at the base of the trunk.
Okay. Uncle Arak kind of steps to your side there and says, "Ah, this is a big one, all right."
It reminds me of the ones back from home.
Oh, they have a few of them like that, but not too many. You know, there's a difference down south in the warm weather in the old forest.
Yeah, that and plus we actually respect our spirits.
Well, you know, city dwellers, they've got their ups and downs.
Mostly down so far from what I can tell.
Well, don't blame them for the woods here. This wasn't their work, you know. This was, back when the dragons were running amok and all that. Burned all the woods to the ground out here. Everything's young growth up here.
Bet if they just respect those dragons, they wouldn't have burned everything.
Well, there is something to be said for that now, isn't there? And he hefts his axe over his shoulder, crooked as it is, and he gives you a toothless grin. So, we gonna get chopping or what?
Hmm. Yeah. But first, let me let me pay my last respects to this beauty, huh? Take my hand, just softly rub across the trunk, side to side. Now take my step back, grab my axe off my shoulders, wind up, and take that first nice deep cut into it.
Roll a 20 side.
By the way, I'm rolling with these!
Oh wait, don't
Oh,
put a dent
tungsten!
in.
Gonna break his table.
Oh no. I missed where I was supposed to roll and it bounced off.
Yep, knew it.
Yeah, did I land your big
Uh,
toe or something?
No, I've been trying what I've been practicing on doing is rolling on the top that the dice came in so that it won't scratch up my desk or whatever. I went to go roll it just now and instead of rolling inside of the top, it bounced off the side of the top and landed on the table instead.
Yep. You're gonna be having a hurting on that table.
I know.
You wanted metal dice, man.
I did. I do, and I'm glad I have them. Now, because it was on the table, does that count as a reroll, or do we just go with the number?
Let's just go with it.
Okay, then we got an 8.
Okay. You haul your axe back and you swing good and hard, and the blade bites deep into the bark and into the outer layers of the wood. Oh, good couple inches probably. And Arak kind of watches you off to the side and goes, "Yeah, you are my niece, all right." Now, and he puts a hand on your shoulder and stand back and let the old salt show you how it's done. He takes his little squat self up to the tree and he spreads his legs, somehow getting even shorter than he already is. Like, how that's possible, you're not entirely sure. And he winds up with the axe, barrel-chested, beer keg arms, bristling. And he wallops it down into the other side of the trunk, and you can actually feel and see the whole tree shudder a little bit with the impact. And the axe, crooked though it may be, buries itself up to the haft in the wood. And he kind of looks back at you like, "You see? That's how it's done." Stumps up to the trunk and starts like wrenching at it to take the axe back out of the trunk.
Alright, so I'll pull my axe out first, and then I'll go, let me give that thing a whirl, and switch axes with him.
All right, all right.
So, so now that we've switched axes, I'm gonna. So is there a part of the tree like how deep was his cut?
Oh, a couple inches, a little bit deeper than yours.
But not much more, right?
Not a lot.
Okay. So I'm gonna I'm gonna swing on the same side that I was swinging before, just to keep, you know, continuity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna swing again and see how much deeper his cuts compared to mine.
All right.
Yeah, rolled it inside the top that time. Got an 11.
All right. You The axe feels a little bit foreign in your hands. The haft is kinked and crooked in strange ways, and the blade, while you would expect it to be this nice, smooth curve, it actually is sort of angular, almost like it has teeth. It doesn't feel natural in your hands, but as you haul the thing back, you notice that the balance is surprisingly good despite it being so crooked. And as you wail it in towards the trunk and it bites, you're surprised that it doesn't seem to want to twist out of your grip when it impacts the wood. It stays true despite all of the strange twists and turns. And it bites deeply into the bark, and you actually send a little chunk of wood flying
all
with the
that on
impact.
all that on a 16. Amazing.
Yeah.
And in case you at home are wondering, yes, I have a +5 strength stat for the modifier.
Your attack modifier is actually 7.
Oh, does that
'Cause you,
count as attack modifier and not a strength modifier?
yeah, this is
Oh,
like an attack. You're attacking this tree,
oh
and
well.
your proficiency with the great axe
Oh
comes
well. In
into
that
play.
case, I take that back. That's not a 16. That would be a 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. And so you've taken your swing, and Arak kind of leans back, resting his hands on your axe, and he said, "So, what do you think?"
Turn around and just stare at the axe. First, I'm gonna just look at the axe in amazement, and I'm gonna look at him, and then back at the axe, and then just, oh my god, Uncle Eric, I don't know how you do it, but blimey fucking hell.
And he just goes, chuckles at you, and then just to be a show off that he is, he walks up and he wrenches the axe out of the tree, and then with an axe in each hand, he's like, "Watch this now." And he just goes to town on this trunk with an axe in each hand.
Oh, like all loose, like he just.
Yeah, just like
Or,
"Rah!" Almost like he has barbarian rage going on.
oh,
It takes a good 4 or 5 swings at the tree. Um, and Ronnie, you kind of have to like shield your face from the wood chips that are flying off of this tree as he goes to town on it. And once he's done and he sort of steps back to catch his breath, there's a nice sized dent in that trunk, that enormous trunk. And he grins at you again with a toothless smile, and he hands both the axes over towards you. Says, "Want to give it a try?"
I've never been good at dual wheeling, but what the hell? That is another 11. So that would be
Roll it a second time.
okay. And that one is a 17.
All right.
We're popping
All
shots
right.
around here.
So, despite your misgivings about dual wielding and these great axes being normally two-handed weapons and not well suited to just one hand each, uh, you kind of focus in on all of your pent-up frustration and fury at the Northerners and their rudeness, their impropriety, their slights against you, and you channel that into just outright frustration and rage, and you just tear into that tree like there's no tomorrow. And Uncle Eric actually has to step back a few paces to avoid getting smacked in the face with flying wood chips. And the tree is just shuddering and shaking as you're going to town on it. When you finally pause to catch your breath and look up while you're almost halfway to the center of that trunk. It's actually kind of a wonder that the tree hasn't fallen over at this point. And
I'm gonna, like, with a blank expression, just look down at my hands and just stare at the axes as I'm holding them like this, and just slowly, like, look back up at the tree, and just put them both over my shoulders, turn around, and look at Uncle Eric.
Uncle Eric kind of nods and says, "You feel better now?"
A little bit, yeah. That was actually that was a bit cathartic.
And he holds out his hand for his axe.
I hand it back to him.
And as he takes it, he says, "We should finish this one off. Be awful shame to leave her like this, you know."
I agree.
And as you guys are winding up in unison to take one last crack at this tree and fell it, you hear a noise off in the distance. It's maybe like a flock of birds being startled. And you look up and you actually see a very large flock from somewhere further down in the forest suddenly taking wing as if startled by something.
Well, that can't be right. It's nowhere near being that cold for that to be happening.
Arak kind of shoulders his axe again, and he looks up at the birds and says, "That's kind of odd for them to be doing that." It's probably nothing.
Maybe. Let's hurry up and finish this off, and then I'm gonna go check that out, make sure it's nothing.
With the two of you working in unison, swinging on either side of the trunk, it takes barely more than a minute for you to cut through the rest of the way, and for the giant oak to slowly teeter over and collapse. As it's falling over the crashing and thundering sound of the branches, you think for a moment that you hear another out-of-place noise again further in the woods, but it's overshadowed by the felling tree.
Can I roll perception? Just to see if I
Sure.
can make out what that small noise is.
Give me a 12 side for perception.
Yeah, it's the dice that loves to hate me. Let's go. I got a 10.
It's not bad.
Wow, you rolling
You
killers right
know what it
there.
is? It's because Boss Ross isn't here right now to absorb all the luck.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
So, Ronnie, as you strain to hear over the noise of the settling branches of the felled tree, you hear what sounds like voices, very faint, barely audible, and could be the whinnying of a horse somewhere off in the distance. You're not able to perceive any more than that.
You know, need help carrying this thing back.
And Art just kind of waves you off. He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I don't use this much wood. We'll let the timberers take it. This was for fun."
Thanks, Uncle Eric. Why don't you head back to the shop? I'll be there soon. Just gonna go take a look ahead real quick.
No, I'll stay out here with you. I needs to stretch my stumpy old legs, you know.
Well, if you're sure. Just don't go if we end up finding any pretty ladies running off like usual.
What, me? Nah, never do that.
Come on, yo, conjurer, you. Start heading up the road.
So you guys wander deeper and deeper into the woods. There isn't really much of a road or a pathway for you to follow, but thankfully you brought great axes. And the bushes and shrubbery in the way are no match for you as you clear your way through. And as you delve deeper into the forest, it grows darker around you, but you're definitely able now to perceive voices. It sounds like they're shouting. It sounds like there's lots of them. And the horse whinnying earlier, that actually sounds less like, the usual pack horse just complaining about its daily job. This actually sounds like a beast in distress or in fear.
Wait here, Uncle Eric. I just want to get a closer look at this.
And Uncle Ara kind of shoots you a glare, and he stops where he is for the moment.
I'm going to try to just get close enough where I can at least make out the scene, but not too close to being noticed.
All right. Roll a 12 side to see if you can creep through the underbrush without being detected.
I rolled a that looks like a 5? Or is it a 6? I cannot make that out well. I think that's a 5. Looks like a 5. That looks like 5, right?
Yeah, but it's not in focus for me.
Of course. One day I will get a much better webcam, and then all will be praised.
So you very cautiously sort of tiptoe through the leaf litter and the undergrowth, brush past the bushes. Your southerner's respect for wildlife allowing you to sort of flow around the things rather than be encumbered by them. And you're able to get to the perimeter of what looks like a poorly maintained dirt track through the forest. And just ahead on this trail is what looks like a wagon. And it seems like it's stopped, and there are figures milling about this wagon.
What exactly, like you said, it's just a wagon and there's figures. Can I make out the figures at all? Like what they may be wearing, if they're carrying any weapons?
It's hard to tell because of the poor light, and you're still a little bit far away. Uh, it's probably more than 5, probably less than a dozen. You can't really see what they're wearing or even really what they're doing, just that they're moving about the wagon rapidly.
Am I at least able to tell if the wagon has been damaged in any way or form?
Roll a 12 side.
10.
You notice that one of the wheels appears to be canted at an unnatural angle.
Interesting. So most likely these guys attacked the wagon, or at least set a trap for it to stop it, and then looted it once they attacked whoever was running the thing. I can make that assumption, but I can't really tell from that distance for sure. Because all I can tell is just that the wheel is screwed. I'll try to get just a little bit closer, just so I can get a better view.
So you rise back up and start to move to your right to sort of follow along this dirt track, and you bump into something very solid and heavy. And Uncle Arik says, "So what we got? What fun is it?"
Not quite sure yet. They might be raiding the wagon over there, but I can't tell for sure. They could just be needing help. You know how merchants are sometimes.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Well, you know what? We can take care of that. And Uncle Arik just walks out of the bushes into the dirt trail behind this wagon and just casually sidles up towards all of these other figures. Oh, there! How are you doing? And all the figures just sort of like freeze for a moment and look in his direction. And you're like, "You all right there? Looks like you might be stuck. Can I give you a hand?" And Ronnie, you can just faintly see from your little spot in the shadows multiple people pull out bows and draw arrows.
Okay. That right there is more than enough of a warning for me. I am not even going to say anything. I'm going to literally dash down from my position and take my axe and check the first row of archers that I come across.
All right. Roll a 12 side to see if you can cover the distance before they can shoot at you.
Very good. That is a 9. And I got a +2 on Dex, right? So
Yes, you do.
11 overall then?
Mm-hmm. So, seeing Uncle Arak doing this brazen, harebrained thing and the archers, you lunge out of the bushes at a dead sprint towards these guys, your axe raised high, ready to cleave them down. And the archers in sort of the front and up on the cart kind of are taken aback at the sudden appearance of a second stranger charging wildly at them. Several of them quickly move to train their bows on you and fire. Let's see. And not a one of them manages to hit you.
Hey.
And you make it as far as the base of the wagon, and you are able to clock one of them with the haft of your axe. And he just kind of goes flying up into the back of the wagon and slides down into the ground.
Okay, Uncle Eric. Time for us to go.
And at this point, Arak has pulled his axe off of his back, and he's grinning that toothless grin of his. And he says, "Nah, the fun's just started." And he just starts stumping his way, squat little self that he is, towards the wagon.
Uncle Eric, you know I can never say no to a good fight. But you, sir, have a shop to get back to.
All right. Mr. Goat.
Yes.
Your moment of glory has arrived.
All right. Did you make the archetype for the villain, or you need me to make the archetype for the villain?
I did. So let me kind of lay out where you're at right now.
Oh, okay.
You are mounted atop a very fine black destrier, which may have been acquired under less than legitimate means.
Okay.
At the head of the wagon train, which is currently stopped in the road, as you supervise your men unloading the supplies from the damaged wagon onto one of your own. When you hear a commotion at the back of the wagon, a voice that's not familiar to you, calling out, maybe from further down the road, and then shouts of alarm from your men, and a rustling in the bushes.
What's going on here? And I send like 5 men to go check it out.
Okay.
Do I say my name or no? We'll find out later. Never mind.
That's up to you, man. I mean, you are kind of the star of this show here. So.
You know what? I'll reveal it when I meet the characters.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, Ronnie, as you are trying to coerce Uncle Arak to go back to the shop and not dive headlong into this mass of heavily armed individuals, you see another group of reinforcements moving down towards you from further up the road. You're now facing off probably 8 raiders, if you will. Some of them with swords, some of them with axes, some of them with bows in hand. All of them kind of directed at you at the moment. I'm going to need you to roll a 20 side for initiative.
20 on the mark.
Wow.
It really is better when he's not around, isn't it?
Wow, you lucking out with these rolls.
He's not around to absorb all the lucky rolls. That's all it is.
All right.
Should I also roll initiative for Uncle Eric?
I'll do that. Okay. We have our initiative for the moment. Ronnie,
Mm-hmm.
you have the first strike. One of the archers is already down, sort of lying in the mud at your feet, dazed, not completely out of commission, but definitely not doing anything immediately.
Okay.
There are another two individuals to your left who apparently had been unloading something, a crate or something from the wagon, and basically just dropped it where they were. One of them is carrying a short sword, and the other is carrying a hand axe.
Okay. So, tell me if this works or not. If not, I will revise what I want to do for my action. So, can I, as part of my movement, stomp back one step to just stomp down on the guy's chest who's right there, and then use that step for momentum to swing my axe at the other two on my left, just to kind of back them off if nothing else.
You're gonna like step back on this guy,
Yep.
and then swing forward on them.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'll allow it.
All right.
Roll your 20 side. Which one are you targeting? Both of them.
I mean, I gotta. My axe should be long enough that it should be able to swing across too, right? So I'll aim for both.
All right.
Because worst case scenario, all it does is, at worst case scenario, they jump back, which is what I kind of want anyway, because I don't want them to get so close.
All right. Roll your 20 side.
16 plus the 7.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits. So let's see. Roll your 12 side for damage.
9.
Okay, and we'll split it roughly evenly between the two of them. You step back, kind of half kicking, half stepping on the guy you felled earlier, who kind of goes, "Oh!" And then you swing mightily at the two raiders closest to you. They try to jump away, but they're not quite fast enough to manage it, and you manage to rake across both of their chests. It's not a real strong blow, kind of glancing, especially since you hit both of them at once, but they clearly got the message.
Now, after that swing, as I'm holding my axe like this, I'm just gonna kind of look around the area just to see where everybody is, and just go, now look here. We ain't looking for any trouble now. But if you keep coming at us like this, we'll be forced to hurt all of you. And since half of you are a bunch of archers, I assume that means you're all a bunch of pussies.
All right. Let's see. The raider in front of you with the hand axe is the first to recover, and he does not seem the least bit frightened by your speech. And with a snarl, he's going to step forward and swing at you. And that's a 23 to hit. I think that does hit, yes?
Yeah, I mean, my AC is only 16, so.
Yep.
Come on, roll 1 for damage.
Wow. He rolled a 10, actually, for damage.
Jesus. He basically almost killed me right there.
Yeah, that was a really good strike for him.
Okay.
Let's see, who's next on the list? And that fella. No. Uncle Arak. Uncle Arak is next. So as he slashes into you and his hand axe bites deep into your shoulder, you stagger backward. You're actually quite surprised by his ferocity, but before you can say or do anything else, there's a primal roar from behind you, and this squat little blacksmith charges into the fray with his crooked axe held high and at the ready. Let's see what he does here.
Come on, Uncle Eric. Time to become the star of the show.
This fella. Oh yeah, that definitely hits. All right, and he brings his axe high and then practically jumps down on top of the guy who's currently slashing at you, and you can just see the fella split from head to hilt as the axe is driven through him. Spray of blood in your face, and the guy just falls apart, left and right in front of you.
You know what?
And Uncle Eric says, "And that's what you got."
You know what? I really am starting to reconsider. Maybe I will get one of those cricket axes from you.
Ah, come on, let's finish him. The other guys in the area are quite taken aback by Uncle Eric's ferocity and how cleanly he split their compatriot in half. One of the archers who's currently seated atop the wagon does recover his senses, and he's going to try to shoot Uncle Eric. And that definitely hits. Somewhere in here I have an 8-sided. What happened to my 8-sided? Hang on a second. There you go.
When the GM loses his dice.
No, I've lost way more than that, I tell you what. All right. And he pulls his little short bow back and releases, and it just sort of clips Uncle Eric's shoulder. And Uncle Eric's grin kind of melts away, and he turns towards the archer on the back of the wagon, and you can just see his face go completely white as he's like, "Oh shit, what have I done?"
Oh, you done goofed now, you little bitch.
Let's see. He's got a buddy. I have to try this thing here. He's got a buddy up there on the wagon with him, who just manages to keep his temper and not run in terror. And he knocks his arrow and looses at Uncle Eric, and again, just barely manages to land it. But this one also goes high and right and clips his other shoulder so slightly you almost can't even see the cut that the barbed tip left. These guys are clearly so terrified out of their wits that they can't aim straight, even though he's like 10 feet away from them. It would be hilarious if they weren't trying to kill you. Ronnie, it's your go again.
Okay. You said it's two of them up on that same cart together?
Yeah, 2 archers up on the cart.
Okay. I'm going to pick the guy up who I'm stepping on, who's on the ground, and I'm going to throw him at the archers.
How far are they?
Roll a 12 side for a strength check.
That is a 10 plus 5, that is 15.
Man, you be getting some good rolls, man.
Told you, it's because Striker's not here.
So you grab this stunned guy and haul him up, lift him bodily overhead. He kind of flails about like, and just heave him at these 2 guys on top of the cart. This was not at all something they were expecting to see one of their own compatriots thrown at them. They try to dodge to the side, but it's no good. And the guy slams into both of them, and they all crumple into a big heap in the back of the wagon.
Awesome. And can I do a quick perception check?
Okay.
I just want to
What are you
see,
percepting?
since they're clearly stealing whatever these supplies are, I want to see in these supplies if there's any health items that I can kind of take and or borrow, depending on your definition here.
All right. Roll 12 side.
That is a 7.
Okay. As far as you can tell, it's just a bunch of sealed up crates. You'd need a pry bar or something to get the lid off.
Ah, crud. Uh,
Uh,
that's probably the
Goat.
end of my actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh, what you doing, buddy? You're hearing all of this commotion, and as you glance towards this wagon that you guys have waylaid, you see the two archers who were actually in the wagon go down, toppled by what looks like a third. And now, for the first time, you can actually see what all this commotion is about. It looks like there are two strangers playing havoc with your men at the back of the wagon. Not all of your reinforcements have gotten there yet. They're still sort of running along the side. What do you want to do?
I'm what's going on here? Like, this incompetent man. You can't get any good help here. Um, I I'm for some. I believe my men can handle it, so I just go, oh, whatever. The reinforcements will take care of it and go on with my business. Do you wait? Do you have written what he's doing, or you like me to make it up or something? Or
It's entirely up to you. All that I've said at this point is that you're on horseback,
you're on
and you were at the
horseback?
head of the wagon train, sort of overseeing the operation. Where you go from there is up to you.
Oh, so operation. I can make up the operation, right?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Okay. Oh man.
You've got lots of freedom here, buddy.
Oh man. You say. Oh man. I should have planned it out. Um. No, that's.
Why, were you going to be planning out opening up a whorehouse? Because that's something Ronnie might let happen. If it'll
No.
get, so long as Uncle Eric can get free passage every Friday night.
No, that's. I was thinking of something that's too Captain Planet-ish.
Oh dear Lord, he was going to be an eco terrorist.
No, not
Oh,
eco terrorist.
hilarious.
No, that's so not
Fantasy
fantasy.
eco-terrorist.
Oh man.
Uh, that's
All right, well, I'm gonna let you think about it for a little bit.
okay. Thank you.
We'll go back to the fight for the moment. Um, let's see here. The archers are currently well entangled. We've got some more reinforcements moving up. Let me roll for that guy. There we go. All right. So Ronnie, after throwing the guy onto the pile of archers in the cart and taking them out of the picture, at least for the moment, Uncle Arak turns to face the one raider who is still on the ground, like close to you, with his short sword kind of shaking nervously, not sure if he should stay or if he should run. And Uncle Arak just kind of grins that toothless grin and hefts his axe and goes, "Ha!" And let's see, I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to work pretty well. Yeah. The guy just about wets himself and throws down his sword, turns around, and runs screaming into the woods.
Okay. All right. We're getting out of here now. But first, and then I want to just check the one guy that he split in half and see if he has any like health potions or anything at all that could like be important on him at all.
All right. You start rummaging through the sticky, bloody mess that was this raider,
Doesn't
looking
bother
for
me.
anything useful on him. As you're doing that, three more come around the wagon to confront you. And the first one, the guy in the lead, is right next to Uncle Arak and immediately is going to try and take a swing at him. And that does hit. Let's see, where are we at here? Where is that one? I know you're here somewhere. Come to me, precious. Yes, I lost my dice again. Shut.
Yay! We're very professional here. We know what we're doing.
All right.
Seamless, guys. Seamless.
This raider sort of catches Uncle Eric by surprise after he's just roared off the younger fella, and actually is able to stab him through the shoulder with his short sword. Uncle Eric kind of grunts in response and staggers back a moment and looks at the guy like, "Are you serious?" His buddy immediately behind him, kind of emboldened by that successful strike, tries to surge forward, and he also takes a crack at Uncle Eric. And he manages. Ooh, yeah, that was a good one. That, I can do math. He lifts his little hand axe and brings it down. Uncle Eric tries to parry it away, but gets a good gash on his arm as a consequence. The third guy is still behind the other two and is currently blocked and can't do anything. But right now, Uncle Eric is facing 2-on-1, and it's not looking all that great for him.
Okay. So first of all, did I find anything on the corpse?
Roll 12 side for me.
That is a 5.
You're able to retrieve the fallen guy's hand axe. That is apparently all that's really useful on him. There might be we'll call it, there's a money sack on him with a few silver pieces in it.
Okay. I will take both of those things for now. And I will actually need to make note of the hand axe somewheres. Where's the pencil?
You got a spot for that, right? So while you're thinking about that, Goat, have you made any progress in deciding what nefarious scheme you're running here?
There we go. Mechanical.
Yeah, I heard. Oh man, I didn't want to sound lame. I was like, what could he be? We're like in a mountain, right? Like kind of like a wood.
You're in a forest.
A forest.
Yeah.
How far are we from Lagash?
An hour maybe.
Is that also going to be a D12 roll for that hand axe? Just curious.
Yes, I believe that's correct.
Okay.
Man, what?
And you said silver? How much silver did I get out of that?
We'll call it 3 pieces.
Okay.
It's
It's 3 pieces more than what I had. Okay.
Okay, sorry, I made a mistake. The hand axe is a D6, not a D12.
Ah, I can correct that.
My bad.
Nah, all good. D6ums. Got it. Alright, cool. So. Oh, crap. I just broke my tip. Say nothing. Leave the jokes for the comment section.
So while Serge is struggling with his tip.
I think I'm good now. So, 3 silver, a hand axe that rolls on a d6. Awesome. I'm going to take both parts of his corpse and lunge it at both of the guys in front of Uncle Eric, and then pull him back.
All right. I'm going to need you to roll 2 12 sides for me on this one. One for strength to see if you can pick up the corpse, and the other for dex to see if you can hold on to it with it being just this nasty pile of blood and guts.
Okay, the first one did not land properly right away, but I'm going to take that as an 8 instead of a 12 because it's more on the 8 side.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was for the dex or the strength. The first roll.
That'll be for the strength.
So 8 plus 5. Okay, cool. And then here's the dex roll. That is a 10 plus 2, so that one's a dirty 12.
Hey, that works. You hoist up this mangled corpse and say, "Eric, duck!" And Eric is already pretty squat, but he kind of like hunches his head down a little bit, and you fling this bloody mess over his head, and it just slams into the 2 guys who are facing him, and they recoil quite violently at having these blood and gore bits thrown at them. Okay, now what?
Okay, so I'm gonna grab Eric and go and be like, "We're leaving," and book it.
Okay, you grab Uncle Eric and start dragging him down the road, and he's still kind of looking at the guys covered in blood and guts, thinking, I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's brilliant.
Eh, thank me for it later. Right now, we need to get back. We both need a little bit of patching, and we're probably going to need to let the guard know exactly what's going on out here.
All right. Uh, Goat, you're up.
Okay. Um. Yeah, he's just looking for anybody to raid. They take what they see, with no abandonment. They just they're raiders, obviously. So, they raid and pillage small villages, towns, homes.
Yes, yes. Raid, rape, and
And so we're
pillage the
just
grounds.
hey, I may be a bastard, but I'm not a rapist. But,
You know what's funny? Every time I always heard rape and pillage, I always
yeah,
thought that it meant,
the
definition
land,
of
yeah.
today's version of rape. And clearly that's not what it meant back
What
then.
it meant, yeah, it just meant like, you just, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, we're just traveling, and we're just hoisting supplies that we stole or raided, and they were just, one of our wagons got, uh, no, one of our people found, our newcomers, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm gonna go check it out myself. So I try to go to the area of the incident.
Okay. So out of all of that,
Hmm.
what are you doing right now?
I'm probably just I'm on horseback. I'm just we're just slowly traveling, looking for places to, you know, commandeer.
Hmm. But at this particular moment, while these two strangers are ransacking
Right.
your steel and slaughtering your men.
Yeah. Oh, got okay. I see it obviously. Um, I already sent. Oh, I sent 5 men. Um, I go. I tell the rest of the men to. I bring 5 more men with me, and on horseback and go. You said they're running. Ronnie's currently running away. Uh,
Yeah, they're just a few steps away from the wagon, and it looks like they're booking it back to town.
um, me and 5 elites chase them. One of
Okay.
my best raiders. Hmm.
All right. So you and we'll say for the purposes of this,
Yeah.
um, that two of your elites are on horseback like you, and the rest are
Mm.
on foot. And
All right.
you and the two your right and left hand man, if you will,
Yeah.
charge them down on the horseback, and your remaining elite squad, they are following up as quickly as they can on foot,
Mm.
trying to like rally the rest of the raiding troop, which is in pretty good disarray at the moment.
Oh, the ones on foot, I tell them, um, they both are archers. I tell them to hide, approach, make sure you're not seen, and aim for our assailants.
Okay. And they split off to either
Mm.
side of the road to find
Mm.
cover among the trees.
Mm.
As you guys charge forward. I'm going to need you to roll a 20 side, and Ronnie, roll a 20 side as well to
It's
see
time for
if you get run
initiative.
over.
Oh, get ran over.
This is to see if you get run over by the horse first.
13.
Wow, 3. That's
Hey,
pretty bad.
safe.
All right. You hear the thundering of hooves behind you as you are trying to drag Uncle Arak away from the fight. And you kind of glance over your shoulder just in time to see these guys charging you down on horseback. And with a heave, you pull Arak to the side of the ditch, and the horses thunder right by the spot where you were just standing. You've narrowly avoided getting trampled by these beasts.
Okay, that's it. We're cutting through the forest. We're staying out of sight. We're getting back to town.
All right. Now I'll have you roll 20 side for initiative. And Goat, you do the same, please.
Ugh, he's
20
probably.
side? Okay.
20
Yeah,
side.
you're probably winning this one. I rolled a 7.
Oh, nice.
Wait, it was literally that narrow of a margin.
Yeah.
Could have went either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me just a moment.
Mhm.
And Ronnie, you said you're a 7?
Yes.
All right. You haul Uncle Eric back up and start to take a few steps towards the forest where the horses will have a lot of difficulty following you. Um, as you are doing that, one of the archers, the one that went to your side of the road, is going to peek out from behind his tree, take aim, and loose a shaft towards you, which goes wide.
Ha!
It embeds itself in the tree like 8 feet above your head.
Pussies. All of you. You're just gonna keep pulling Eric along. We are not dealing with this nonsense right now.
And he goes with you, but reluctantly, he's like, "Come on, we can take him."
No.
So
Just now seeing you for the first time in ages. Not gonna watch you die like I did with Ro.
as you guys quickly disappear into the foliage, one of the elites on horseback dismounts very quickly and charges into the underbrush after you. And since you're sort of half dragging Arak along, he catches up to you within a few steps, being off the road. Let's see here. He's going to try and take a swing at Arak since he's the closest. And which one of these guys do I have? Aha! That's what's looking wrong. I knew one of these things wasn't set up correctly. Where are you? All right. I'll fix that in a minute. He swings his axe at Uncle Arak, but it only sort of like glances off of the smith's apron. There's a little bit of a cut across his chest, but nothing too serious. Let's see. Goat, what are you doing as you watch your quarry try to flee into the woods?
I tell one of my men to go around and cut them off.
Okay. So the other elite on horseback kind of wheels around and tries to pick his way into the underbrush. He doesn't get very far on horseback and is forced to dismount and then continue on trying to circle around them on foot.
And I stay in horseback, and I kind of circle the area. Then I play this eerie kind of flute to kind of make them like not creep them out, but kind of like make them like go, "What is that?" As my men are circling, trying to cut them off.
All right. All right. I like
It
this
sounds
guy.
better in my head, but whatever.
He's a really quirky guy. I like it.
Anime.
Yeah. Anime, exactly, anime.
Definitely.
Oh man. Oh, for crying out loud.
So as you are diving in there, let's see. All right, Ronnie, you're up.
Okay.
What are you doing? You've got this guy who's sort of like right on your heels,
Yeah.
trying to hack away at Eric.
I am actually going to, since he just tried to take a swing at Eric and just barely missed him, I'm going to pull Eric back and then fling him forward and tell him as I'm doing it, Uncle Eric, fastball, and then just throw Eric at him and have Eric just like with his axe out, straight for the guy's face.
All right, all right. Give me a D12 to see if you're strong enough to throw Uncle Eric,
Who's
who
nothing
weighs a
but
good number of stone more than you.
that is a 10 plus the 5. That makes a total of 15.
All right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And that's two. Just manage it.
Hey.
You grab him and yell fastball, and just for a brief moment he grins and he positions his axe at the ready as you shove him forward. And he not so much flies as sort of topples forward, almost like a rolling boulder, but with a blade on the end. And the guy following just kind of, his eyes wide, like, what? And then this axe blade comes for his face. And since he's not expecting this, and it's kind of a two of you attacking at the same time, I'm going to roll him with advantage on this. And it's a good thing that I did, because he definitely needed that. And then, what do we got, Uncle Eric? Eric wheels in, the blade comes down and bites deep into the raider's shoulder. And he recoils as he's almost flattened underneath Uncle Eric's weight. I'm actually going to see if they both end up prone for that. Let's do this. No, they both managed to stay on their feet. Let's see. We'll go with that one next. The raider kind of staggers back for a moment, puts a hand on his bleeding shoulder, grits his teeth, and is like, "You won't get away with this!" And then sort of does a backhanded slash at Uncle Eric. But it's really kind of pathetic, especially to a seasoned, heavy-built blacksmith like Eric. Once again, across the chest, it bites a little bit into the leather of his blacksmith's apron, but doesn't do much more than that. A little bit of blood. But Uncle Eric just kind of chuckles. He's like, "I ain't gonna take anybody out with that kind of arm, buddy."
Uncle Eric, we've wasted enough time. Let's get out of here. We can come back for him later.
All right, so you guys are going to resume trying to run.
Yes.
The archer on that side of the road is going to try and take a pot shot at you, but he's got to shoot through the foliage, so he's going to have disadvantage on this. That doesn't work for anybody. Once again, he looses his arrow at you. It hits a bush about halfway between you and him and gets hung up in the branches. So,
not even going to waste words with this guy. I'm just going to grab Uncle Eric and book it as per usual. Mm-hmm. And this time, I'm not dragging him. I'm picking him up like this.
All right. We'll get to that on your next turn to see if you have the strength to do that. Goat. Mm-hmm. You're still on your horseback. What are you doing?
I do little hand signals, like. Until as one of my men are chasing him, I tell him to go around the forest and cut him off, and then I follow them, not closely, but enough where they hear my flute, but not where they can see me.
Okay. All right. So you start to try to lead your horse into the forest undergrowth. Very quickly, the terrain becomes almost impassable. There's low branches and everything in the way. Are you going to keep trying to follow them on horseback? Are you going to dismount?
I'm going to dismount.
Okay. Continue on foot. A handful of your men, there aren't a whole lot of them left. Mm-hmm. Some of them have run away, and several of them are now dead. Mm-hmm. But a handful of them kind of form up behind you and are slowly following you.
Now, to be
Your
fair,
elite
the
archer,
dead ones, that's their fault. We tried to leave. Just put that out.
the elite archer, who so far has a fantastic record of 0 for 2, uh, tries to follow your instructions to circle around wide to the left. Your elite melee guy, who dismounted earlier, is steadily making progress on the right. He might intercept them as they're starting to run away. But at the moment, it looks like you're all just kind of struggling with the undergrowth at the moment. Ronnie,
Yes.
give me that 12 side to see if you can pick Uncle Eric up.
That is a 7, and my strength is a +5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're working with 11. No, 12. 12. We're working with a dirty 12.
All right. So you like grab him by both arms with a little bit of protesting from him, and you lean him forward to try to hoist him on your back, and you just manage to get his legs off the ground, and you take a step, and you take a step, and you're coming to the realization pretty quickly that Uncle Eric has gained a few pounds since you last saw him, and this might not be a great idea.
All right. Look here, you Okandra. I'm not going to be dragging you. We're running. We can't fight these guys just yet. Do you understand?
You're such a spoiled sport. You're like your mother that way. It's all right. Fine. For now, we do it this way.
Thank you. I'll put him down, and then Can I take a quick look around, see if I can notice if there's been any changes around our area?
Roll 12 side. See if you can perceive any of the other raiders.
11.
You quickly look around to get your bearings. You can clearly see that the big bad, who seems to be leading this group with the czar flute and his small posse of 5 or 6 men, are some distance behind you and trying to close. You can hear rustling on either side of you, but you cannot see the source of the rustling.
I'm gonna look at Uncle Eric and go, we're heading left. Keep low. Very low.
And he kind of chuckles and says, "Ah, hi, that I can do." And he tucks his little head into his already squat body and stumps around behind you.
I follow suit.
And as you do that, you guys happen to cross paths with Mr. Not So Elite Archer, who is going to try to loose an arrow at you.
He missed again, didn't he?
No, he got it, but just barely. He's definitely not on his A game today.
Who's he aiming for, me or Eric?
He's aiming for Arak,
Oh, okay.
who is the biggest target at the moment, despite being short and squat. He's kind of rotund. Let's see, which one have you got? Yes, you got that one. Where did my 8 side go? Somewhere on here. There you are. And he draws, and he actually has a rather fine-looking longbow, you notice, just before he looses an arrow at Arak. The arrow flies true and sticks in his shoulder, but only right at the edge. And Uncle Eric kind of looks at it, grabs it, yanks it out with very little effort, puts it in his mouth, and snaps it in half with his gums, because he has no teeth.
You shouldn't have done that.
All right. Let's see. That's that guy. That's that guy. Goat. What are you doing? You're still probably a good, I don't know, dozen or so paces behind them.
Oh, I'm like, oh man, oh my God, these idiots leap my ass. I'll do this myself. I begin. I start. I tell my men to proceed. Obviously, they're doing what they're doing, but I actually try to engage. I'm like, oh, This flute's supposed to be intimidating. What's going on? Oh well, I'll do it myself.
Oh, this is great. I love this guy.
Man.
These were supposed to be elites. This flute was supposed to be intimidating. What the hell's going on?
Oh,
I
man.
love it.
Oh, there goes the luck vacuum. Just entered the party.
Uh-oh.
After all these good rolls I've been getting, they're all about to disappear now, ladies and gentlemen. They're all about to disappear.
Look who finally decided to show up.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I'm sleepy.
You'll be
just to give you a real quick context, we're currently following the adventures of Ronnie and her uncle Arak in the forest around Lagash, dealing with a little party of bandits led by Mr. Goat. So sit back and enjoy the show. I think we're almost wrapped up here. Be a few more minutes.
I get to sit and watch.
Yeah. All right. So,
Look.
Goat, you surge out ahead of your men who are still struggling with the underbrush and pull your own great axe out from the holder on your back. As you stride through, as brush and bushes get in your way, you just swipe them down effortlessly with this thing. And you are pretty quickly able to close the distance. Ronnie, you now have the archer ahead of you, the big baddie, yet to be named, right behind you, and his posse just a few paces behind him.
Okay. How close am I to the archer right now?
If you were to go at him at a sprint, you could probably overtake him.
Okay. I'm going to say to Uncle Eric, bucket! And we're going to rush towards the archer. And instead of, like, hitting him, we're just going to wait until the last second and then split off and go around him.
All right. You say that. Arak sort of braces himself and charges with you as fast as his stumpy little legs can carry him. You dash up towards the archer. He's like frantically reaching for his quiver for another arrow and like dropping 3 or 4 of them as he's trying to knock and draw before you get there. And right as you're on top of him, you go around him in a V. And he just kind of stands there like, what the fuck just happened?
Perfect.
And he's going to be so stunned by that, I'm not even going to have him like turn around and try and get an attack on you. He's just going to be like, what happened?
Yes!
Goat, you witness this as they rush your expert, your elite archer who just fumbles around like a toddler who found his daddy's hunting quiver. And then stands there frozen like a statue as these 2 misfits barrel around past him.
I just sigh and just continue chase. Oh my god! And I call him an idiot, like moron. Just.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to do.
I will be right back in 1 moment.
All right. Goat, while he's going away, why don't you roll a 12 side for me to see if you can catch up to him?
11. Nice.
All right. You lengthen your stride and go into a dead run, zooming past your idiot archer, who just kind of withers under your scowl as you pass. And you are able to catch up. I'll let you choose, since they went off in a V, which one are you chasing?
Ronnie.
Okay, you're going to go after Ronnie.
Yeah.
You peel off to the right after Ronnie. And let's see. We'll say that you caught up to her. Do you want to try and attack?
I just block her way.
You're behind her right now. It's going to be hard for you to overtake.
Oh yeah. No, I'm thinking too anime. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you've got the great axe, so you might just have the reach to clip her with the great axe.
While I'm running, I pick up a rock and I throw it at her leg.
All right.
A little rock, like something this big, but it'll like, kind of stun her a little.
All right. Roll a 12 side to see if you
Wait,
can grab this thing on the run.
wait. If his roll fails, can I have Ronnie kick the
What
rock
nine?
back at him as she's running?
Maybe. Let's see where we go
He said he
first.
rolled a 9.
What kind of anime stuff is this?
What did you get?
9.
A 9.
A 9. All right. So you managed to pick up the stone. Roll a 20 side to see if you have the accuracy to actually hit her with it.
Okay. Oops, bad roll. Oh, I only got a 6.
Mm-hmm. So you throw the stone, and it whizzes past her head, but ineffectively.
Okay. That's
All right.
really-
Now, Ronnie, what are you doing?
So, as the rock whizzes past my head, I'm not going to stop running forward. But I am going to turn back, glance at him, and shoot him a death stare. And point my axe. As I always do when I know that somebody's going to be my next target later on. And keep dashing towards town.
And I tell
Roll?
him, "You look at me like that. I'm not your father." And then shit.
Who's your daddy?
I'm my daddy.
Roll a 12 side to see if you manage not to trip over everything while you're looking over behind your shoulder at a dead run.
Oh, baby. What a time to roll nat 12.
Oh,
Yeah, you got lucky there, boy. You got
Oh.
lucky there.
Mr. Ross, so your luck went down 30% at least.
All right, let's see.
Okay.
Oh, that's that. Okay. So you do that, and you point at him, and you turn, and you keep running, and all that you hear a moment later is "Roar!" And this crashing, thudding sound as Uncle Arak sort of swings around and merges back in with you and collides with Goat's character. Let's see.
Nuts.
We're gonna do this. Yeah. And Goat, you're gonna take 6 points of we're gonna call it crush damage because he basically used his own body as a bludgeon there. So you're now down to 20 hit points.
Okay.
And it is now your go.
Uncle
You've left
Eric,
all
what
of your
the hell are you
minions in the
doing?
dust. You've left all your minions in the dust, so it's just you and Ronnie and Arak.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, in the wood. Okay. I take my axe, and I scoop up dirt and I try to throw it in their faces.
The old tricky dirt in the face maneuver.
But it's kind of like a feint. It's like I'm trying to swing it, and I go, I swing to the ground and go.
All right. We'll go with a 20 side for that one.
All right.
And the fact that he's trying to do it with an axe.
It's going to be interesting. Let's see what he
Yeah.
gets on the 20.
Very interesting. Wow, I got 19. Hell yeah. Oh, sorry.
All
16.
right.
Sorry, my bad. Wait.
16?
Yeah, 16.
Well, you've got a +4 modifier, so that works out to be pretty good anyway. Let's see. Ronnie and Arak will both need to roll a 12 side for a Constitution saving throw to see if you.
Am I actually close enough for this?
Uh,
If I was still running and Eric was the one who went crashing into him.
If you kept running, then no. We'll just go with Uncle Arak then. If you kept running.
Because I didn't have time to really turn back for him. I only just saw that he went crashing into the guy.
So you fling your little blade of dirt at Uncle Arak, and he kind of puts a hand up and catches most of it. A little bit gets on his face. He coughs and stumbles for a moment, shakes his head, and then just chuckles at you. I gotta do better than that, son. And he picks up his axe again from where it was lying on the ground and starts stomping towards you, holding it out like this for a great big sweeping blow. And are you going to do anything else before I move on to Uncle Arak?
Oh, me.
Yeah, you. I mean, all you did
Yeah.
was fling dirt at him, so
Yeah,
I'll
and
give you
you're
the
on
option to
yeah,
like move
and you're
around or
and
something.
I'm assuming he's on the ground.
He is on the ground. Well, no, he's not. Hmm.
I mean, if he took crush damage, I
Actually,
assume.
no. You're right. When Arak tackled him, he would have been prone. He would have had to spend his movement to get back up and then fling the dirt. So that might be all you can do for this round.
Oh, okay. Oh man, unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go with that because Surge is right. Is what happens when you don't pay attention to your players, kids.
Mhm.
All right. We'll see what Uncle Eric's gonna do here. Uncle Eric is going to take a swing at you with his great axe. And let's see. The axe comes sweeping upward, and you take a step back, and it screeches horribly as it rakes across the breastplate that you're wearing, and actually bites through it at one point. You can feel the blade scraping across your skin a little bit there. Somewhere here I have this. Oof, that was actually a really powerful hit. Take 10 points of slashing damage. So you're now down to 10 hit points, sir. Ronnie. So you've noticed that Uncle Eric collided with this guy, and they're now engaged, and you're now a good dozen paces or so ahead of them.
Ah, nutty old conjure! I am literally gonna stop, pivot, try to keep my momentum, and just charge forward towards Goat's, whatever this guy's name is. I don't know who he is. All I know is that at this point, I'm getting sick of tired of my uncle. One, trying to fight everybody right now, and two, these people chasing us. At this point, I just want to get back to town, get the old conjure in bed, and then report whatever the hell's going on, because this is not even in my pay grade at this point. Like, I'm not even getting paid for this one. So I'm just going to take that momentum, charge, and when I check him, I'm not just going to regular check him. I'm going to put my whole body weight into it and lift up and catch him right under his jaw.
All right.
Uppercut style.
All right. Roll a 12 side. We'll call this a combined strength and dexterity to see if you can like get under him and knock him upward like you're trying to do here.
Ooh. That was not the roll I needed for that. Finally got the bad roll for the 12 side today. That is a 3.
Well, Boss Russ finally joined, so he's sucking up all your luck now.
Yeah, we knew it was going to happen. Here we are.
Yeah.
Fortunately for me.
Even with your best modifier applied to that, that's not going to be quite enough. You charge in and you lift up to check this guy, and he just stops you dead. Like it's like running into a brick wall. He's a lot more solid than you expected him to be, and you actually just kind of deflect and bounce off of him a little bit. Goat.
Oh.
You're now being flanked by these guys.
While I stop her, right? I get in a headlock, and then I do some kind of. I don't like to use the word suplex because the setting, but I kind of do like this kind of like bam,
Yeah,
right.
so suplex.
I am not a fan of D&D grappling rules, so we're going to do this a little bit differently.
Okay.
I would like each of you to make a contested 100-side roll, please.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Contested 100. This is not going to be pretty, baby.
You said the lower the better or the higher the better? Lower the better, right?
Usually
in this
it's lower.
case, yeah, I want lower the better.
Okay.
Lower the better.
Ugh.
I got 45.
He won that then because I got 72.
All right. So as Ronnie kind of bounces off of you unexpectedly and whirls to try to get her footing back and take another strike, you manage to wrap your arm around her head in a headlock. She struggles with you, trying to pull you off. She can't really swing the axe effectively to get a good angle on you, and you just sort of allow yourself to fall backwards on top of her. Let's see.
Can I do another movement? Well,
I would think.
All right, tell me what it is you want to do. And we'll see.
oh, I get up quickly and I do I kick her really hard in the stomach where she flies like 5 feet.
You really are going anime style with this guy.
Yeah.
So
Whoa, I got up.
I would assume the movement would be there, but not the action, though, right?
Yeah, the action's already taken. You could expend your movement to get back up. For starters, roll a 6 side to see how much damage you do to Ronnie.
Okay.
Ugh. No matter what he rolls, if it's not a 1, I'm dead.
Ooh, 6.
Oh, jeez.
Like I said, dead.
Yeah.
This is the one problem I have with my stats. The extra low life that I have. And every time somebody rolls a 10, it's like, oh, you're basically dead.
Yeah.
How am I a barbarian with low life stats?
And while I do it, I make fun of her hairline. It's like, oh, your hairline's funny for a laugh, or something like that. I'm sorry, I don't know.
I will say, Serge, that yes, you're playing a barbarian, but she's level 1. Everybody's weak at level 1. This guy isn't level 1.
Yeah, but I also don't have good health stats to start. Like 14. 14. 14.
Yeah, you didn't roll so hot on that.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Oh no, actually, your hit points. Oh no, that actually that's default. You haven't rolled for any of your own hit points yet.
Yeah.
You get that at level 2.
Oh, well then. How far away am I from that again? I've only got like 75 HP.
Well,
XP.
we haven't tallied up all of your kills from this adventure, so that'll be a moment.
Yeah.
So Ronnie is basically down for the count, squashed underneath this guy, and Goat, you're able to get back to your feet, and about that same time is when Uncle Arak sees what you just did to his precious niece and flies into a bit of a rage.
Yeah, rage.
Hey, I'm like, who's this?
Yeah, just a bit of a rage. And let's see, we're gonna do just this one. All right. Are you ready for this, Mr. Goat?
Yeah, I'm ready. What's going on?
Your fantastic big bad demise. Uncle Arak hefts the crooked axe and goes, "Ah!" and charges you down and actually jumps in the air and brings the battle axe down onto your head.
Wow.
You are the second person to get split in half by this axe today.
And although you are wearing a reasonably fine steel helm, good quality, soldier grade material, it ain't got nothing on an angry Arak with a battle axe.
What did he roll a 20?
He rolled a 19 on the attack. Even though you've got like a 19 on armor class, he's got a +9 modifier on his attack.
Jesus!
And he rolled exactly 10 on the damage, which is what your hit points are at.
Well,
so yeah, it's kind of, I can't do anything about it. It's what the dice say.
Well, that's anticlimactic.
Do you want to have any last words before he splits your skull?
I go Mohrloc Kastien, and then I die.
Finally got your name.
why? Of all things,
Yeah,
Mohrloc Kastien.
Mohrloc Kastien. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's my name.
You managed to gasp out your name just before the thing plows through you and splits you in twain, and the two halves of you just kind of.
Wow, this is a filler episode. This is like Naruto's pre time skip filler.
It's not quite a one shot, but it's got that feel to it, right?
Right.
But half hour ran out.
Yeah.
What's a filler villain?
So seeing their esteemed leader getting split in half by this enraged fat guy with a battle axe, the remaining posse just, they're like, fuck this. They turn tail and book it out of there as fast as they can. Arak, for himself, he doesn't really pay any attention to them. He is quickly rushing over to Ronnie's side, seeing that she's effectively pancaked by this guy, and
Death by suplex.
mutters, "Ah, gosh darn it, Ronnie! Why you gotta go and be like your mom?" And he hoists Ronnie up onto his back, turns, and makes a beeline for the town as fast as he can go.
Can I roll to see if I have just enough consciousness to reply to what he says?
I will have you do a death saving throw here with your 20 side.
Okay. 10 or higher, right?
I think that's right.
Yeah. Ugh, that is... I can't... Okay, I'm going to reroll because I can't tell which one it's on. That one's even weirder than the last angle we got last time. That was weird. I couldn't tell if it was... It literally landed to the point where... Let me see if I can find these numbers again, just so I can show you this. So it literally landed right here in the middle like this. So I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be 14 or if it was supposed to be 4. I've never had my 20s land like that before. I might really need to
heavy dice.
Yeah, I just might really need to switch back to the regular die if I keep getting these weird rolls on these metal dice. Like,
yeah,
I'm trying not to, but
it's rough to roll those suckers.
Yeah. Okay, that one generated a little bit better. That is a 5.
Okay, so that's 1 out of 3 you get.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna say that you're completely knocked out at this point and don't have it in you to even be aware of what's going on.
Did I hit my head on a rock when he suplexed me? Is that why? Let's call it a rock.
He basically crushed your rib cage.
Jeez. Sort of.
That or snapped your neck. I'll give you. Take your pick. Snapped neck or crushed ribs.
Crushed ribs. Because snap neck would imply death.
Not really. Depends how it breaks. The spine, the upper spinal thing right here has to snap, and then it kills you. It could just be like the bone could be broken, not the cord is what kills you, or it goes too much to...
Yeah, no, but off of a suplex, nah, that implies death. That happens too often in real life in wrestling. That implies death. So I'll go with the broken ribs, especially since Ronnie seems like the type who's had broken ribs before.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
I didn't kick you in the gut, though. That makes sense, though.
No, you didn't get that far. You managed to get back to your feet, but
wow! Suplex did that much damage?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you rolled your 6 side for it, right? And you got a 6. She only had 4 HP left.
Oh wow.
So yeah, you wiped her out.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna have to roll the 20 side.
Man, I got one shotted by Uncle.
All right. And Ronnie, I'm gonna actually need you to roll a second death saving throw.
Rolling. 20.
All right, you managed to survive that one, which is good because Uncle Eric, although he's running like hell, like the devil himself is on his heels, he is short and squat and stumpy, and he doesn't go that fast.
Of course.
It's going to take him a little bit to get back to town, but you nailed that saving throw. You are going to be able to get back to town just in the nick of time.
Lovely.
And he's going to rush you into the gates and take you to one of the healers' buildings. I don't even know what you call it. It's not exactly a healer's hut if it's in a town. And gets you sorted out there.
It's usually just like the town physician, usually. Or the town healer. It's usually what it is. But
well, in a city like Lagash, there's like a couple of people who peddle remedies and cures and things. Some of them are more reputable than others. Some of them might include spellcasters. Others might not. Uncle Arak, though, being a native of the city, a longtime resident, I should say, of the city, he knows his way around, and he takes you to the right people to fix you up. You slowly drift into consciousness, not exactly sure where you are or what's going on. Everything hurts, but you can tell that you're reclining on something kind of soft. And as you peer around for a little bit, trying to get your bearings, you see Uncle Arak sort of hunched over on a stool, just sort of gazing at you, glassy-eyed, worried expression on his face.
I'm gonna reach out and put my hand on his shoulder, slowly turn my head to him, and just say, "Now, would you be looking like you're about to cry now over?"
And he just offers you one of those toothless grins of his and puts a hand on your forehead. And he says, "Ah, hush, my girl." And I think that is where we will end for tonight. Or at least end for this session.
Very good.
Wow.
All right, guys. If that's all for this session, we will see you guys next time on Fail PG. Please, if you're enjoying this content so very, very much, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, share it with everybody you know. And if you guys want to see some changes made, or maybe you got some interesting ideas for us that you would like to share with us, leave a comment in the second. I can't say words anymore. Leave comments down below. You know, you came in here and sucked up all the luck. The least you could do is help.
Well, yeah, you're lucky. I mean, my character just got one-shotted. I mean, come on. Like,
You're welcome.
And with that being
You're
said,
welcome, everybody.
bye. And with that being said, SourceU out.
so,
Source you in.